Good morning everyone, and welcome back to the 250 bird challenge. This year we're trying to see 250 birds. We're coming up to the end of the year. It's September 30th, starting to get a little bit chillier here in Ontario. We're currently at Presqu'ile Provincial Park. We're on our way to Prince Edward Point, not too far from here. We thought we'd stop off at Presqu'ile first. Stay tuned, we'll be back in a second. Good morning everyone. As I mentioned, we're at Presqu'ile Provincial Park. It's the last day of September, we're heading into fall. The colour change is visible on our drive up here. We set off nice and bright and early, got here for sunrise. We are beginning on the Lighthouse Trail. As you can see, there's a lighthouse behind me. It's just a short, circular-ish kind of walk through some trees and next to the lake. We've had some success here in the past with warblers and stuff, so we're going to take a look to see what's here this morning. Quite a lot of what we're seeing is in this willow that's kind of bending over the lake here. Okay guys, we completed the Lighthouse Trail. We then went to the cow pasture area. We didn't really see too much there, just lots of kind of white-throated sparrows and other common birds like that. Where did we go next, Sarah?
To Job's Wood Trail.
Job's Woods Trail. We thought we might stand a chance in there of seeing some black-throated warblers, so the black-throated blue or black-throated green warbler. They have been reported as being seen here in the last few days. Unfortunately, came up empty on that, so we left, and we are now taking a look at Owen Point Trail. We're hoping to maybe see some kind of sandpipers or other shorebirds somewhere along there. So let's go take a look. Northern Peru. Nashville. On the way out of the trail, we didn't see too much besides a few warblers. Unfortunately, I missed the magnolia warbler, but did get footage of a Nashville. And we also saw a northern parula. Those are always kind of neat birds to see with their interesting plumage. We then went to do the Marsh Boardwalk Trail, but it was very busy and we thought there wasn't much chance of seeing anything. So we did stick our heads along the trail, but didn't see anything, decided to turn back. I think now it is time for coffee. We didn't sleep very well last night. We've been pretty busy over the last few days. Coffee time, stay tuned. We're going to hit a few stops on the way to our campsite near Prince Edward Point. We did indeed stop for coffee at a place we like in Wellington, Ontario, in part because of the views over the lake looking towards Sandbanks Provincial Park. On this occasion there was nothing unusual to see, so we continued the drive to our campsite. It was located near Solmersville, north of Picton, and afforded nice views looking north over an inlet of Lake Ontario. We got the tent put up, then took the opportunity to have a look for any bird life we might find on the shore. Along with some common species like ring-billed gulls and double-crested cormorants, we saw a yellowlegs. There are greater and lesser yellowleg species, and they look very similar. We've already seen a lesser yellowlegs, so we were hoping that this was a greater. Unfortunately not, but we'll keep trying. There was also a family of killdeer hanging out on the shore. The sun began to fall behind the trees as the evening rolled in. I began to light a campfire. Sara prepared dinner. Ribeye steak, asparagus, macaroni salad, bon appetit. I also bought these local beers. These two are from Prince Eddie's, which is in Picton, and this one is from Slake, I think is how you pronounce that, Hatch, which is from, I don't know, just says Prince Edward County, Mowbray Road. Well, the sun's going down, it's time to retire soon. We've got a nice campfire going. We're going to have some marshmallows and then probably go to bed. The plan is to get up early tomorrow and go to Prince Edward Point Bird Observatory. It's on a peninsula in Prince Edward County. We're going to see if we can pick up any new birds there, so stay tuned for that. And if you're enjoying this video, please subscribe. Hit that red subscribe button. Cheers. We left for the bird observatory as the sun rose the following morning. By the way, if you're wondering where the owls are that are in the title of this video, stay tuned because they're coming soon. Before we continue though, I need to briefly interrupt this video to go over two sightings that I wasn't sure about from a couple of recent videos. In our Algonquin Old Airfield video, we saw this bird, and I asked you what you thought it might be. I thought it might be purple finches, a new bird for us. Well, viewers Cliff, Nathan, Mike, Derek and Spencer all agree, so we're counting it purple finch. One more bird, I thought this might be a scarlet tanager. Viewers Cliff, Nathan, Mike and Derek all agree, and my wife Sara has also had a closer look to determine that it is specifically a male scarlet tanager with non-breeding plumage. So we're counting that one too, scarlet tanager. We're getting really close to that 250 goal. Alright, owls coming soon. For now, on with the show. Good morning everyone, we're at Point Traverse in Prince Edward County. It is the 1st of October. It was a cold night last night when we were camping, but we've had an early start, the sun's just coming up. We're going to have a look for some birds. So far guys, tons of ruby and golden crowned kinglets. It can be tempting to try to identify golden crowned and ruby crowned kinglets by the colours of their crowns, but there is quite a bit of variation and you can't always spot it, so my tip, look for the black and white striped face on the golden, look for the partial white eyering on the ruby.
Yellow lures.
White.
The shaggy tree that's changing color. It's just coming out like closer to the edge of the trail.
Well, Well, that was Kinglet Central. We saw tons of golden and ruby-crowned kinglets, literally hundreds of them, I think. A few yellow rump warblers here and there, cedar waxwings flying overhead, American robins, some kind of flycatcher, probably eastern phoebe. Anything else?
Blue jays, a bald eagle.
Yeah, we think there's about 3 bald eagles. We've got pretty good views of a couple of those. Red-tailed hawk. Quite a few things. Unfortunately, nothing new, but we're going to keep going. We've got another stop coming shortly, so stay tuned. Our next stop was the main place we were aiming for, Prince Edward Point Bird Observatory. It's one of a number of places in Ontario where birds are monitored. Birds fly into mist nets suspended nearby, and they are then retrieved in small bags to keep them calm. Each bird is then weighed, and various measurements are taken before a small, uniquely numbered band is added to the bird's leg. All of this information is recorded into a database, and the information from many other bird observatories and research centres is collated and shared. The data recorded give a number of insights from the obvious, such as the size variance of different species, to the less obvious, such as movements of birds when the same individual is re-recorded at a different location. Multiple re-recordings of the same bird also give an idea of the lifespan of different species. Prince Edward Point Bird Observatory is currently managed by Phil Mercer, and it was nice when he recognised Sarah and I from a previous visit. Phil and his assistant Ashley were kind enough to let us get a few close-up views of some of the banded birds from the morning before they released them.
Oh, so angry.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks. Quite a handsome one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice older bird.
Really seen any so far this year?
Thank you. Nice eye ring.
Mm-hmm. So it's the subspecies of the
Oh, okay.
warbler.
Next bird is a black-throated blue warbler, a new bird. You can hear me joke about whether to count it or not. Now the question is, do I count this as a bird I've seen?
Well, when I release it, see where it lands, and then you go.
Spoiler alert, we saw one later, so I'm counting it. Oh, and if you're wondering where the owls are, you've still got to stay tuned for a little bit longer. Well, I hope you enjoyed seeing some grumpy birds there, so kind of up-close views of those. We just spoke to somebody called Chris from Sarnia who recognised us from our YouTube channel, and he recommended we take a walk down Traverse Lane in the hopes of seeing a solitary sandpiper. What else?
Greater yellow legs.
Greater yellow legs, which we might still need. We saw some yellow legs yesterday, still need to identify those. Yesterday, white-rumped sandpipers too, but they haven't been seen today. We're going to take a look, see if there's anything down here anyway, so stay tuned. As I said earlier, we were keen to see the 2 species of black-throated warbler. In this next clip, Sarah calls my attention to a black-throated green, but there's also a black-throated blue in the same tree. Something of interest.
Black-throated green. Black-throated green.
Have I got it? Am I looking at it?
I've got it.
Typical, but at least we got to see them both. Welcome back. We left Prince Edward Point Bird Observatory. We've come back to our campsite now. We've just had hot dogs for dinner, but we are going back to Prince Edward Point Bird Observatory, hoping to get some pictures of some saw-whet owls perhaps. We're going to an event where they're going to be doing some banding there. It was very kind of the staff there to let me take some close-up footage of some of the birds that they banded. They're a voluntary organisation. I'm not sponsored by them, but if you'd like to make a donation, there is a link in the description to help them out with some of their running costs. very important research that they're doing into birds there. I myself have made a $5 donation. Sarah makes a donation to them every year, sometimes more than one. So much help from you guys for them is appreciated. Link in the description. Stay tuned to this video. We're hopefully going to drive back there. I'm having a little bit of car trouble. It's making a whirring noise and I don't know anything about cars, but hopefully we'll get there okay, and back to Toronto. Anyway, stay tuned with that little bit of jeopardy in mind. Back to Prince Edward Point Bird Observatory. Well, earlier my wheel was making like a terrible squeaking sound when I was driving, but it seems to have abated, so we stopped to kill some time in Picton and got ice cream, but we're on our way to Prince Edward Point Birding Observatory now, hopefully to see some saw-whet owls. We'll see how that goes. Stay tuned. We arrived after sunset, and as we were waiting for any Northern Saw-whet owls to enter the mist traps, 3 long-eared owls flew overhead. Sorry this is rubbish footage, it's far away, it's late at night and it's too dark for my camera to operate, but these owls were positively identified at the time. After another hour or so, we took a walk down to the mist nets to see if we could get a close encounter with any Northern Saw-whet owls. The owl calls you hear are recordings to try to tempt the real owl in. Again, excuse the grainy footage due to the dark.
And then we're just gonna pull him up, and I'm gonna bring him towards me. And so when we take the bird out of the net, these guys are small, but we're using a large mesh size, so they do get caught pretty easily. So a lot of the times the net gets caught right through the side of the head, so what I'm doing is I'm pulling it off, which is ruffling some feathers because they're mostly feathers. But now I have this part done. I'm pulling the netting up the wing like this, and then keep going. There he goes, getting a little more aggressive, and now he's out. Oh, and he's kicking. There we go. And then the way we keep the owls is we put them in bags like this, and then now he's in the bag and we can bring him back to process.
And now you can tell that this owl is 9 point something. Can I see that right?
Yeah, it's
9 or 6. 9.
906.
9.06. Let's face. Look over at the there.
The drive from the bird observatory to our campsite was about an hour along some gravel potholed roads. My car started to have issues again, making a nasty metal whining sound. But we did make it back safe to camp. We woke up early the following morning. Sara cooked us up some oatmeal porridge for breakfast. The jam, by the way, is from Yummies in a Jar from a previous trip to Baysville, Ontario. Unfortunately, we had to cancel plans for any further birding stops in order to get repairs done to my car, so we had another wander around the campsite instead. Here's an update. All of this off-road birding wrecked my suspension, shocks, tyres and brakes. A whopping $4,300 later, the car is back on the road. Here's some of the birds we saw at the campsite. It isn't lost on me that this video dramatically ends with us at 249 birds. Yet, one more to go. I'm going on a trip to England very soon. Birds from there don't count, but I will have some separate content from there coming soon, so just bear with me for a couple of weeks. Then, we'll be back to hopefully finish off and finally kick the butt of this 250 bird goal. Thank you everyone for watching our videos. Thanks once more to Prince Edward Point Birding Observatory. See you soon from good old Blighty and some European birds. Happy birding.